Yada, Gino. Listen, if you hear any noise or voice in the background, if you can't have the willpower, disregard it. All right. Listen, I really don't use filtered, okay? Well, really don't. I don't. You feel me? For real. So when you see me, like, that's just how I'm looking, okay? It just depends on, like, the light. You might get a good version, then you might get, like, oh, wait, Just, so I'm making, like, my little beans over here. It's like a bean sub and everything, okay? Look, I would like to get to this, okay? And, all right, I'm a psychic investigator and I do psychic investigations, okay? So this is, this little thing about certain ones trying to use, I'm hearing that there's been, how can I say, there's been, I'm a psychic investigator and I do psychic investigations. So now we know the subject, okay? Shout out to a certain channel and everything. It has been brought to me about, there has been like certain warrants that have been put out for those that been doing PPP loans and stuff like that, putting business in and using other people's name to get businesses, don't even have a business. Y'all was, messing up all kind of business and stuff like that. Because me, I love business, especially mine. Okay. So the thing is, those that have been putting in insurance policies on me and stuff like that, and to try to unalive me and stuff like that, and taking me off of a will and wills and stuff like that and stuff, and trying to burn evidence and everything. Did you know, like, certain ones that, I have chosen to call psychic investigator, do like, can easily pull up what you try to burn? You can't, and there's certain individuals that's trying to use, like, trying to train hop and be on trains and stuff, right? Try to go out of Arizona and stuff like that. Yeah. The thing is, you don't have to believe in karma for, karma still to get you, okay? So that's that, supernatural things are happening. Just know that, okay? Now, the thing is, some individuals that call themselves, public officials or whatever, I'm finding out, somebody that's been in, like, in the Marine or some Marine or whatever, some active duty, something, doing some stuff like that. Listen, okay? Yeah, the universe is telling on you, okay? It's been more than twice that the universe has said something about you specifically, okay? Yeah, I know certain ones that like to, use certain, act like they're in certain military to do certain things to certain, to try to, to try to cause harm to others, to try to, some of them don't have it all upstairs. Sometimes they like to separate individuals because they don't like peace. Have you ever heard somebody say, they want peace, and they say they want peace, so then they go around to try to take peace, using war, so you're not really you're looking to try to take peace, so that's why y'all go around talking about, y'all want peace. Nah, okay, so yeah, I ain't with that. So here's the thing, okay? Thing is, here on the court, when it comes to earth, okay, in the higher realms, okay, there is judgment. There's a type of order. There's a certain type of order, okay, and it's trickling down. That order has been trickling down for the, so all the, how can I say, all the corruption that here has been here has to be cleaned, okay? It's like, when I was raised with my relatives, when I was with my biological mother, the house is clean. You feel me? The house is clean when individuals come over. It looked like a real clean house. You couldn't even sit on the furniture in a living room. Well, it's said called living room. There was plastic on the furniture, and all kind of, you can't go in there. You just look at it. That's what it was for, type. That's kind of what, she had planned, from, I guess, how she was raised or whatever. She want to carry on certain tradition like that. However, when it comes to it, you can find out, like, these individuals, they is really crooked. They really dark. Even though they, you feel me? So certain ones be trying to hide, trying to make their dwelling clean. Cleanliness is close to godliness. Cleanliness next godliness. Certain ones are really dark. Certain ones really are dark and have dark intentions. They just like to try to put on the front. So you might find out about certain individuals. They like to carry a smile and stuff like that. However, they really dark. Some are very bitter. Okay. And misery, because it's miserable, it was looking for company. So, you got individuals gossiping. So here's the thing, certain ones that try to take me out for life insurance policies and making fake certain certificates of me saying I'm unalive, stuff like that, that's not going, okay? And certain ones trying to keep burning all that, all that's going to be unraveled, You ever heard, like, those thermal things, you ever seen, like, a thermal device and everything? Like a heat signature and stuff? You ever seen that? It ain't just, like all that military stuff. Like, did you know? That's what I be thinking. Like, all that little military stuff. Like, hold on, people just supposed to have that too. So you can't, you feel me? You can't be trying to like enslave and just try to like, yeah, you can't monitor everybody. We can monitor too. Like, certain ones been trying to hack on, trying to hack people's devices, trying to monitor and trying to pick at you. Okay, y'all can be found too. Did you not know? I just said you ain't got to believe in karma for karma to get you. Okay, I'm just saying health is wealth. Okay, so do you love your health? How much do you love your health? Because I really love my health. Okay, so you try to take mine. Guess what? Guess what you owe? Huh? So some people are getting certain type of karma. Okay, that's why I'm not too much worried about the public servants getting certain ones. Okay, y'all, you feel me? Certain ones are trying to hide in certain dwellings, trying to hide in certain residences, and try to order things online and trying to get them sit, and like, there's ways to, you can't hide. There's no hiding. None of us can hide. We're none of us in any way, shape, form, or fashion. That's why I keep saying everybody gonna get what they got covered. Okay, so like I said, certain ones that really thought they were going to try to use the justice system as a weapon, to use the justice as a weapon. Okay, that's being exposed too. Okay, yeah, certain ones are going to be quite embarrassed. Okay, okay, so that it just what it is. Okay, you shouldn't have been hiding secrets and keep trying to think you're going to get away with doing certain things to people. Okay, there was a time where certain ones were were trying to be wanted to be the first to laugh. So guess what? It's what time it is. Okay, it's table served. Okay, so it's about that time. Okay, the ones that wanted to be the first to play, wanted to be the first to play at everything. Okay, so now it's y'all time to pay. Okay, now me, you feel me? When I was with my relatives, okay, they used to laugh at me all the time. Now the table, now I get the last laugh. There was a certain time, and I paid to play. Okay, spiritually. Okay, I put in the work. Okay, so you feel me? So now I get to play. Okay, and my supernatural abilities, psychic abilities, they tuning up, baby. They are tuning, they're upgrading, they're amping up, they're enhancing. So it feels good. It feels beautiful. I'm getting more youthful, fast, and everything's going to be right on time. For those that keep thinking they're trying to outrun karma, just know what's going to happen to you. It's going to happen to you right on time. There ain't no escaping it. Okay, that's why I said I'm not in a rush. Just like the more y'all trying to run, which y'all think y'all going to get away with, y'all not going to get away with it. Because the public service, they're closing in, because you feel me, there's certain type of order. I already told you, certain type of order from the higher. Okay, and then you feel me, what happened, you feel me, if it's so on earth it is in heaven. Okay, so if there, you feel me, there's courts here on earth. Okay, there's a certain type of order that's in heaven. Okay, it's a mirror image. Okay, so all the corruption has to be exposed that's been going on here. Oh, okay, so that's why there's courts here. Okay, that's why. Okay, the thing is weaving out and getting out all the corruption. Okay, because there's a big court that everyone's supposed to be going to. Not these little courts, all that little municipal and appellate. No, it's supposed to be like supreme. Okay, and everybody, we're all supposed to be going to it. You feel me? When certain ones get to it, and everyone's supposed to be able to see, the ones that are going to these specific courts. Not supposed to be some type. Yeah. So yeah, we're weaving out all that and all that. Okay. So this gonna happen, we're supposed to be actually going by nations, not like countries. They're supposed to be nations. Okay. All right. So anywho, so that's it about right now. Okay. I love y'all. Find something safe to and stay accountable. And if you don't think I know, just know I know what you think I don't know. Okay. It's my duty to know. All right. I love y'all always. Stay accountable and find something safe to do.